Hello, my dear. I'm so glad you're here. Truly. Because this moment, this quiet, gentle moment you're giving yourself right now, is the doorway to peace. I know you've tried so hard. I know you've spent years trying to be good enough, trying to get it right, trying to please everyone, trying not to make mistakes. You've been exhausted by perfection, haven't you? You see, we were all taught the same lie, that in order to be loved, we must be perfect. That love is something we earn, something we prove, something that's given only after we fix ourselves. But that, my dear, is not love. That is fear wearing a mask of love. You are not a mistake. You are a divine idea in the mind of God. You were never meant to be flawless. You were meant to be whole. There's a big difference between the two. Wholeness is real. Perfection is performance. Perfection is a moving target you will never hit because it doesn't exist. You can spend a lifetime chasing it and still feel like you're behind. Wholeness, on the other hand, is what happens when you finally stop running, when you exhale, when you say, I am enough right now. Let's talk about this myth of perfection. Society has sold us the idea that perfection equals worth, that our value depends on how we look, how we perform, what we achieve, or how others perceive us. From childhood, we learned that approval equals safety. When we did something right, we were praised. When we didn't, we felt rejected. Slowly, we began to equate love with performance. And so, we put on masks. We became masters of pretending to be confident, pretending to be happy, pretending to have it all together. But deep down, we still felt unworthy. We thought, if I can just become better, maybe then I'll be loved. Yet no matter how hard we tried, it was never enough, because perfection is not real. The concept of perfect is a lie. I want you to hear this clearly. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not missing anything. You are exactly where you need to be on your soul's journey. Every mistake you've made has been part of your learning. Every failure has been a teacher in disguise. Every imperfection you carry is an opportunity for compassion. I am perfect, whole, and complete just as I am. Say that with me now, not as a theory, but as a truth you are remembering. I am perfect, whole, and complete just as I am. You see, perfectionism is not about doing things well. It's about fear. It's the fear of rejection, fear of being seen, fear of not being loved. It's the ego's desperate attempt to earn what the heart already deserves. And that fear, my love, is exhausting. It keeps you in constant comparison, always looking at someone else and thinking, they have it together. They're more confident, more beautiful, more successful than me. But comparison is the thief of joy. You cannot compare your insides to someone else's outsides. You don't see their self-doubt, their insecurity, their pain. We are all learning the same lesson, how to love ourselves as we are. The pain of feeling not enough is deep because it begins early. Maybe someone once told you, you should be more like your brother, or you'd be prettier if you lost weight, or you'll never make it if you don't work harder. Maybe no one said it directly. Maybe you just felt it. That subtle message, who I am right now isn't good enough. So you began to perform. You began to wear masks. You became a perfectionist, not because you wanted to impress, but because you wanted to be safe. You believed that if you could just be perfect, no one could criticize you, no one could leave you, no one could hurt you. But perfection didn't protect you. It imprisoned you. And I want to tell you something revolutionary. You don't need to be perfect to be loved. You only need to be real. Because love cannot enter where masks exist. Love flows where truth lives. Love embraces your cracks, your flaws, your contradictions. That's what makes you human, and that's what makes you lovable. The people who love you deeply are not the ones who think you're perfect. They are the ones who feel safe to be imperfect with you. So let's talk about this feeling of not enough. Have you noticed how those words, "I'm not enough," create tension in your chest? How your breath becomes shallow, your energy tightens? That's because the thought itself sends a signal of lack through your entire body. When you say, "I'm not enough," your subconscious hears, "I am unsafe." Your energy contracts, your vibration lowers, and suddenly, love, the energy of openness, cannot flow. But the moment you say, "I am enough," your heart opens, your shoulders drop, your nervous system calms. You reconnect with life itself. So right here, right now, let's shift that belief. Take a slow, deep breath with me. Breathe in the truth and exhale the lie. Breathe in worthiness and exhale self-judgment. Now say softly, "I am enough. I have always been enough. I will always be enough." And I want you to know something very important. When you truly love yourself, everything in your life works. Why? Because your outer world mirrors your inner conversation. When your inner dialogue changes from "I must fix myself" to "I am learning to love myself," life starts rearranging itself to match your new belief. Opportunities appear. People treat you differently. You feel lighter. You stop chasing and start attracting. That is the power of self-love. When you love yourself, you stop looking for proof that you're lovable. You stop trying to earn your place in the world. You realize you already belong. You were born worthy. No accomplishment, no mistake, no title, no appearance can change that truth. You are a child of the universe, and you are loved just because you exist. And if you've spent years punishing yourself for not being perfect, please hear me. You have suffered enough. You have criticized yourself for years and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens. Approve of the effort, the progress, the courage it takes just to wake up and try again every day. That is where healing begins. You don't need to fix yourself. You only need to meet yourself with love. You don't need to become someone else. You only need to remember who you already are. Every time you say, "I am enough," you rewrite the script of your life. Every time you choose gentleness over guilt, you move closer to freedom. So, let's end this part with a truth that will stay with you all day. You don't have to be perfect to be beautiful. You don't have to be flawless to be loved. You don't have to be extraordinary to be enough. You are already whole. You are already worthy. You are already loved. Let that truth sink in. Feel it moving through your heart, your body, your soul. You are free to stop striving. You are free to stop proving. You are free to simply be. And that is more than enough. Now stay with me, my dear one, because in the next part, we'll go even deeper into this. How to unlearn the habit of comparison. How to speak to yourself with compassion. And how to finally feel worthy of love without needing to earn it. Don't go anywhere. The next truth may be the one your heart has been waiting to remember. My dear, I want you to pause for a moment and take a deep breath. Feel your chest rise and fall. Feel your heart beating quietly beneath your hand. That's the sound of life still believing in you, even after everything you've been through. You've carried so much, haven't you? You've tried so hard to be everything to everyone. to be the good one, the strong one, the one who never complains, who keeps smiling, who keeps going. But today, I want to tell you something sacred. Healing begins when you finally allow yourself to grieve the person you once were, the version of you who tried endlessly to earn love. Yes, you heard me right. Grieve her, mourn her, the one who thought she had to be perfect to be accepted, the one who held her breath, walking on eggshells just to avoid rejection, the one who measured her worth by someone else's reaction. She was doing her best with what she knew. She thought love meant pleasing others, fixing herself, or never making mistakes. She believed love had to be earned. She wasn't foolish, she was conditioned, and that conditioning ran deep. So when you grieve her, do it with tenderness. Write her a letter. Sit somewhere quiet and say, "I see you. I know how hard you tried. You were only searching for love, for safety, for peace. You did what you thought you had to do. Let tears come if they need to. Those tears are holy. They are not a sign of weakness, but of release. You are releasing years of self-judgment, of impossible expectations, of pretending you were fine when you weren't. You are saying goodbye to the old patterns that kept you small. You are forgiving the part of you that thought survival required perfection. And when you finish that letter, don't rush away. Read it aloud like a sacred ritual. Place your hand over your heart and whisper, "I'm not going to push you anymore. You are safe now." Feel that energy ripple through your being, because that is the moment you begin again. That's when your body, your mind, and your soul understand. The war within you is finally over. Healing isn't about becoming someone new. It's about honoring the one who got you here. The brave, tired, beautifully imperfect version of you who kept going even when she was unseen, unappreciated, or unloved. You owe her gratitude, because without her, you wouldn't be ready to love yourself this way now. Now, let's talk about unlearning. Because true healing is not about learning more. It's about unlearning the lies you've been told. You've been told that love must be earned, that worth must be proven, that peace must be delayed until you've done enough. But my love, that's all backward. Life is not a test. Love is not a competition. Healing is not a checklist. You don't need to earn your right to rest. You don't need to audition for acceptance. You don't need to keep performing just to belong. You already belong. You always have. The performance is what exhausts you. It's the armor that keeps you from being seen. For so long, you may have played roles that didn't fit you. The pleaser, the overachiever, the rescuer, the strong one who never falls apart. You became so used to performing that you forgot what it felt like to be authentic. You forgot that you could breathe without waiting for permission. You forgot that love doesn't require you to impress anyone. It simply asks you to show up as you are. You've spent years trying to perfect your mask, but the truth is, you don't need a mask. Love can't find you through the costume. Love finds you when you stop pretending, when you stop rehearsing and start revealing, when you dare to say, "This is me," unpolished, unfiltered, real. And here's the miracle. The moment you stop performing, people who resonate with your truth begin to appear. The ones who love you not for your achievements or your appearance, but for your essence, for your laugh, your quirks, your honesty, your light. You no longer attract relationships built on fear or control. You attract those built on authenticity and freedom. So, I invite you to practice something beautiful tonight. Stop trying to be the best version of yourself and just be the real version of yourself. You are not a project to be fixed. You are a soul to be honored. Say it with me. I no longer need to perform to be loved. I am enough when I am me. Every time you remember that, you dismantle the illusion that kept you trapped. Every time you show up honestly, even when it's messy, you strengthen your connection with life itself. Because life doesn't love your performance. Life loves your presence. Now, let's move to something even more powerful, shifting from waiting to choosing. For much of your life, you may have waited for someone to see you, to pick you, to validate you, to tell you that you matter. You waited for love to knock on your door, for luck to find you, for life to give you permission. But waiting is a vibration of lack. Waiting says, I'm not enough until something outside of me changes. I want you to hear this clearly. You were not born to be chosen. You were born to choose. You are not a supporting character in someone else's story. You are the author of your own. And every time you decide to choose yourself, to honor your needs, to protect your peace, to follow your intuition, the universe rearranges to reflect that decision. You've been giving your power away, my dear. You've been handing your energy to people who couldn't see your light, to situations that didn't deserve your time, to stories that no longer fit who you're becoming. But that ends now. Stand up, breathe deeply, and declare it with me. I choose myself today. Feel those words sink into your cells. When you say them, your energy shifts. Your vibration rises. The universe listens. Because the moment you choose yourself, you become magnetic. You move from begging life to bless you to realizing life already has. Choosing yourself doesn't mean you're selfish. It means you've stopped betraying yourself for love. It means you understand that no one else can give you permission to shine. It means you've decided to become the source of your own validation. Do you feel that? That's empowerment. That's freedom. That's you remembering who you've always been. Every time you say, I choose myself, you teach your nervous system a new pattern. Safety through self-approval. You tell your heart, you no longer need to chase love. You are love. You tell your body, you no longer need to hold tension. You are safe. You tell your soul, you no longer need to wait. You are ready. This is how we move from survival to creation. This is how we transform pain into power. So I want you to imagine something. You're standing in front of a mirror. Look into your own eyes and say softly, I choose you. I'm not waiting anymore. I'm not apologizing for being me. I'm not shrinking to fit. I'm here, and I'm choosing you. Let your reflection receive that truth, because when you choose yourself, everything begins to change. You stop settling. You stop over-explaining. You stop needing to prove. You start living with intention. You start walking with peace. You start attracting relationships that feel aligned instead of draining. You stop being afraid of being alone because you realize you are never truly alone when you have your own love. Remember this, every great transformation begins with a single choice. The choice to love yourself enough to stop waiting for permission. So from this moment on, no more begging life to pick you. No more waiting for love to save you. Stand tall and say, I am choosing myself. And in doing so, I am choosing life. Imagine, my dear, that you came into this world as a diamond, pure, luminous, and whole. But over time, layer by layer, dust began to settle upon you. The dust of comparison, of criticism, of not enough. The dust of other people's voices telling you who you should be, how you should act, what you must accomplish to deserve love. And somewhere beneath all that dust, you forgot the truth of your own brilliance. You began to think, if I polish harder, if I sparkle more, maybe then I'll be seen. But the truth, my love, is that your worth has never depended on how much you shine, only that you exist. You have worth simply because you exist. You are not valuable because of what you do. You are valuable because you are. You are valuable because life itself thought the world needed one of you. You don't need to earn the right to breathe, to rest, to be loved. You were born deserving. You were born whole. Every breath you take is proof that you are already enough. So let's redefine worthiness together. You see, the world has tried to teach you that worth is transactional, that it's something you trade, something you prove, something that can be taken away. You've been told that your value depends on your productivity, your beauty, your success, or your approval ratings from others. But worthiness is not a reward. It's your birthright. You were worthy when you took your first breath, and you'll be worthy when you take your last. Nothing you do can increase it, and nothing you fail to do can decrease it. The moment you anchor yourself in that truth, everything begins to shift. You stop begging for love and start embodying it. You stop chasing validation and start radiating peace. You stop performing and start living. Because worthiness isn't about doing more. It's about being more of yourself. Every morning I want you to stand before the mirror. Look deeply into your eyes. Don't rush this moment. It's sacred. Whisper softly, I am enough. I am lovable right now. Let the words vibrate through your body. Don't worry if your mind resists at first. That's okay. You've spent years believing the opposite, but say it anyway. Say it until your cells begin to remember the truth. Say it until your heart softens. Say it until your reflection smiles back at you with tears in her eyes, because she finally believes you. You see, the mirror is not just a reflection of your face. It's a portal to your soul. And when you speak words of love into that space, your entire being listens. You are rewiring years of conditioning. You are soothing the frightened inner child who once believed she wasn't enough. And you are teaching her a new language, the language of love. Now let's talk about imperfection, that beautiful, messy, magnificent truth that makes you human. The world tells you that flaws are failures, that cracks must be hidden, that only smooth surfaces are beautiful. But I want to offer you another perspective. Your imperfections are not flaws to fix. They are fingerprints of your soul. Each one tells a story. Each one holds wisdom. Each one is proof that you have lived, loved, fallen, and risen again. Think of the Japanese art of kintsugi, where broken pottery is repaired with gold. The cracks are not concealed, they are illuminated. The golden seams transform the object into something even more precious, because it has been broken and made whole again. That's what you are, my dear, a masterpiece mended by love. The places where you feel fragile are the very places light can enter. The scars you hide may be the bridges that connect you to someone else's healing. Your sensitivity, the thing you once called too much, is your gift of empathy. Your past pain, the thing you once resented, is your key to compassion. What you thought made you broken actually made you beautiful. Say this with me. I now choose to see beauty in myself and in others, and mean it. Look at yourself with softer eyes. Notice how your heart keeps beating, how your body keeps supporting you, how your spirit keeps rising no matter how many times it's been knocked down. That is beauty. That is strength. That is grace. The next time you find yourself criticizing your reflection, pause and ask, would I speak this way to a child? Because that's what your inner self is, a child longing for love, not perfection. When you begin to treat yourself with gentleness, the harshness melts away. And suddenly you see that imperfection is not the opposite of beauty. It is beauty in motion. You are not here to be flawless. You are here to be real. You are here to bring light through your cracks, to turn your pain into purpose, to show the world what it looks like to love yourself completely. When you embrace your imperfections, you invite others to do the same. You become a safe space for authenticity. You become love embodied. Now, let's ground all of this into daily practice, because knowing your worth is not a one-time realization. It's a daily remembering. When you wake up, before checking your phone or thinking about the day ahead, place your hand over your heart and say, "Today, I choose myself with love." Feel the warmth of your hand, the rhythm of your heartbeat. Let that be your morning prayer, not a prayer of striving, but of surrender. You're not asking life to make you enough. You're affirming that you already are. During the day when you make a mistake or feel you've fallen short, take a gentle breath and whisper, "It's okay. I'm still learning. I'm still growing." That's all healing really is, learning with love instead of judgment. You don't punish a flower for growing slowly. You simply give it light and patience. Offer yourself the same grace. And when the evening comes, I want you to sit with a notebook. Write down 3 things you are proud of. Not grand achievements, but small, honest victories. Maybe you spoke kindly to yourself when you could have criticized. Maybe you set a boundary. Maybe you rested without guilt. These are sacred milestones on the path to self-love. Acknowledge them, celebrate them. Then close your eyes and say, "I love and approve of myself. I am whole even when I'm not perfect. Life loves me just as I am." Let those words be your lullaby. Let them sink deeper with every breath until they become part of your inner voice. Because that is the goal. Not to silence the inner critic overnight, but to make your inner nurturer louder. Remember, you are not a work in progress. You are a masterpiece in evolution. You are not waiting to become worthy. You are remembering that you already are. You don't need fixing. You need embracing. So tonight, as you lie down to rest, imagine all the versions of yourself, the child, the teenager, the adult, gathering around you. Tell them, "You did well. You're safe now. You're loved." And then let go. Let the weight of perfection fall off your shoulders. Let your breath return to peace. Because the truth, my love, is that you've never had to earn your worth. It was written into your being long before you took your first breath. You were born enough. You were born lovable. You were born whole. Now repeat softly one more time. For your body, your mind, your spirit, I am enough. I am lovable right now. Life loves me just as I am. And let that be your final thought tonight, your sacred affirmation, your gentle truth. Because once you begin to live from that knowing, everything around you will begin to mirror it back. Your relationships, your opportunities, your health, all will rise to meet the vibration of your self-love. That is the beauty of imperfection. That is the magic of worthiness. That is the power of choosing yourself again and again. My beautiful friend, take one more deep, gentle breath with me. Let it travel all the way to your heart. Feel it expand and soften. Feel the peace that comes when you stop trying to fix yourself and start remembering who you already are. You see, none of us are perfect. And that's the most perfect thing about being human. Our flaws, our contradictions, our laughter, our tears, they are all threads in the same divine tapestry. You were never meant to be a flawless statue. You were meant to be alive, to move, to feel, to grow, to learn, to love. For so many years, you've tried to earn your worth. You've tried to prove that you were lovable. You've waited for someone to tell you that you were enough. But the truth, my love, is that you've always been enough. Even in your uncertainty, even in your messiness, even in the moments when you felt lost, you were still worthy. Worthiness isn't something you achieve. It's something you remember. You are enough not because of what you've done, but because you exist. Life itself chose you. The same energy that created mountains and oceans looked at you and said, "The world needs you." So from this moment on, I want you to stop criticizing yourself and start loving yourself. You have been criticizing yourself for years. Try loving yourself and see what happens. Love is the medicine. Love is the miracle. When you love yourself, your life begins to rearrange. When you love yourself, you walk lighter, you breathe easier, you speak kinder, you trust deeper. You no longer chase approval because you've already found acceptance within. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture yourself standing in front of a mirror. Look into your reflection, really look, and whisper, "I am already enough. I am already whole. I am already loved." Say it again, this time with feeling. Let every cell in your body hear it. Let every past version of you feel it. Let the child within you smile with relief, because this is the truth she's been waiting to hear her whole life. You don't need to wait for someone to choose you. You are free now to choose yourself. You don't need to wait for life to give you permission. You can begin again, right now, simply by saying yes to yourself, yes to your softness, yes to your imperfections, yes to your light. So here is my loving challenge to you. Listen to these words for 7 days straight, morning, evening, whenever your heart needs a reminder. Let these truths sink into your subconscious until they become your natural way of thinking. Because repetition builds belief, and belief builds miracles. Each time you listen, let your inner critic grow quieter and your inner nurturer grow stronger. Each time you repeat these words, imagine planting seeds of love inside your heart. You are worthy. You are loved. You are enough. And when those seeds bloom, and they will, you'll no longer be searching for love outside yourself. You'll realize that love has been your reflection all along.